Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears to some of the trials and tribulations and travails that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. And there's a few cities that have a particular strong place in my heart. That would be St. Louis, Chicago, Kansas City. Brother of mine lives in Houston. And so sometimes I like to bring up stories that are coming right out of those cities. Well, I'm in St. Louis, and this one is straight in my backyard. And this is about a St. Louis firefighter charged with possessing child sex material after IP address tracked to firehouse. Here we go. Prosecutors charged Jarret Morton, 50, with 2 counts of possessing child P material. A St. Louis firefighter was charged Thursday with possessing child P material, which police said he accessed at least twice while he was on his shift in North St. Louis at his firehouse engine house. Prosecutors charged Mr. Jarret Morton, 50, with 2 counts of possessing child P material. He was employed as a firefighter with the St. Louis Fire Department at the time of the crimes, police said. According to a probable cause statement, investigators received a tip on January 30th referring to 2 files constituting child P material. The files were stored on a Dropbox and were accessed twice on January the 11th. The screen name used with the Dropbox was Jarret Morton, and his email address contained STLFD, the acronym for St. Louis Fire Department. Police identified Morton as the owner of the Dropbox account, and the IP address used to access the files was traced to engine house number 5 in the St. Louis Place neighborhood. Police said the files were accessed during times Morton was working at the firehouse and that he had access to the station's secured Wi-Fi. Police executed a search warrant on Morton's phone and found 221 video files of child sex P videos, court documents said. A judge issued an at-large warrant on Thursday for Morton's arrest, ordering that he be held without bond. Later on that night, this was just 2 days ago, his body was found at the St. Charles Ameristar Casino, where at around 8 o'clock p.m., Mr. Morton jumped off the 6th floor parking lot and committed suicide. This particular case, after seeing it, has so many alarming factors to it. One, with Mr. Morton, I don't know if it was mental illness. The man was 50 years old, had been with the fire department for 25 years. And with technology and its advances today, I'm assuming that he had not been on the internet looking at child P videos or downloading that, or they would have gotten to him a lot earlier. So what possessed him to start, if that's the case, at 50 years old, to start possessing and viewing these kinds of videos of children? Do we call it mental illness? He definitely was a sick person. I don't know if he was married or had children, but in many of these situations with guys like this, they are. Also, he was doing this at work, And people don't understand that nothing is erased. Text messages, you have that iCloud in the sky, even with Snapchat, with such technological advances, just when you think you've erased something, it's somewhere locked away and saved. And depending on how bad the FBI or the city police or state police want you and want to find that information, they have ways of finding it. Just just think about it. In the same way that these computer experts created this technology, they have found ways to find. They have ways to find and retrieve everything that someone is doing. And so this is also interesting is that he probably didn't think that with him using the fire department's Wi-Fi, that was uh, being saved to a certain degree. So yes, if you're utilizing the St. Louis Public Library's Wi-Fi or your friend's Wi-Fi, there is a history and a recording of everything that you're looking at. So if you're at your grandmother's house or at a friend's house and you decide you want to watch whatever, there are ways to access the history of that Wi-Fi. So you're not uh, immune to that. So they were able to secure the Wi-Fi history at the firehouse and found that he had been on there and downloading inappropriate videos of children, which I'm sure he never thought he'd get caught. But the weird thing is, people are using this technology has its advantages and it has its disadvantages. It has its advantages is that everything that you want you can get at a push of a button. Its disadvantage is that everything that you want may not be necessarily healthy, good for you, or even lawful, and it's at a push of a button and can get you in a lot of trouble. So one has to be very cautious. But it is amazing where I'm seeing stories where people have been in their careers, whether they're judges, lawyers, doctors. We had a 63-year-old doctor here who was writing illegal prescriptions to women in exchange for SX. He got caught. There's another, the fire department here in the St. Louis area has been having some issues from an image and marketing standpoint because we had another firefighter right now in Frontenac who has had two separate girlfriends pass away in his home. One around 2019 supposedly committed suicide with a gun in his home, and then he started dating a doctor here in the last year or two, and she was found deceased in his home. So he's had two deceased bodies. This is a separate firefighter out in St. Louis County in Frontenac. And now you have this situation uh, where this gentleman is downloading inappropriate images and videos of children. And his IP address was tracked back to the firehouse, and he was doing this. Not only was he committing a felonious and illegal, inappropriate, dangerous, disgusting images of children, he was doing it while he was on the job. What is going on? Mental illness is a real thing. I say it all the time. Mental illness is at the top, the opioid crisis, helplessness and homelessness, the inhumane treatment of other human beings, gun violence, and then subsequently, after he is charged, he goes out to the casino in St. Charles County and commits suicide. So there was a lot of troubling things that were taking place with this Jarret Morton guy, and it's very unfortunate. But I want to do these videos to show that people are suffering. I also want to make full aware that everything is being recorded, even sometimes when your phone is off. I think it's still on. And so if somebody's trying to do something suspicious, the last place you want to do it is on your computer or your cell phone. Those things are easily tracked, and subsequently, this man took his own life after being charged with these abuses.